If your iPhone's front panel or screen are cracked, like this one's is, you can either live with it, buy a new one, or, as I'm going to show you here, fix it. Just know that this isn't something you should do if you have an AppleCare Plus or other warranty that covers accidental damage. And I suggest you watch my video on what to know before trying to fix a smartphone or tablet. It will help you decide if you should repair the phone yourself or just take it to a shop. Now lastly, know that by following these instructions, you do so at your own risk. Before beginning, you'll need to get the necessary replacement parts and tools. As the iPhone's front panel and LCD are fused together, I suggest buying both as a single unit. You'll find them online between $70 and $120. Just be sure that you buy the right one for your phone. As for tools, you'll need a few thin metal blades, a plastic spudger or case opening tool, tweezers, Phillips 000 screwdriver, a tiny flathead screwdriver, and a special pentalobe screwdriver, which you'll use to remove the phone's tamper-resistant outer case screws. Again, you can pick these up online if you don't have them. Lastly, I'll be replacing the panel on an AT&T iPhone 4, but you can use these same basic steps on iPhone 4s from other carriers and the iPhone 4S. You may, however, encounter differences, such as the location and type of vibration motor and the position of the motherboard screws. The first step is to back up all the iPhone's data using either iCloud or iTunes, just in case something goes wrong. You'll also need to eject the SIM card using the eject tool or a paperclip. With those tasks done, you can open the iPhone by removing the two screws located along the bottom edge. Then slide the back cover upwards and lift it off. Unfortunately, before we can install the new display and front panel, we'll need to remove most of the iPhone's internal hardware. We'll start with the battery. Remove the battery connector screw and disconnect it from the motherboard. Now carefully remove the tiny pressure contact located underneath, noting its location and position for reassembly. By gently prying on and then pulling up on the battery's plastic pull tab, it should come loose from the frame. Next, remove the metal shields that cover the upper portion of the motherboard and the docking connector cable. As you remove each screw, note its location. The screws are different lengths and will need to go back into their original position. Now disconnect and remove the rear camera and then detach all the cables along the top and side of the motherboard. You'll need to gently pry the docking connector cable away from the metal shield underneath. Remove the hidden motherboard screw located under the round white sticker near the battery pull tab, the screw under the docking connector cable at the bottom, and the metal standoff from the top near the headphone jack. Then remove the motherboard, lifting up from the bottom. Lastly, remove the speaker enclosure and vibration motor. At last, we can turn our attention to the broken display assembly. Now, it's held to the metal frame with 10 screws, 3 along each side and 1 in each corner. You'll need to remove them all, keeping track of the washers under the 6 side screws. Now, carefully insert a thin metal or plastic tool between the metal frame and front glass panel along either the top or the bottom edge, and gently pry the panel loose. Now, 2 warnings here. Do not insert the tool too far, or you may damage the phone's other internal components. Also, if the glass panel is cracked, take care not to injure yourself during the removal process. Now, as you pull the panel away from the phone, you'll need to thread its cables through the metal frame. We're now ready to install the new display assembly. So first, remove the plastic film from the back of the display if it has one. Then carefully thread the display's cables back through the frame, making sure not to crimp them in the process. Gently press the panel onto the frame and secure it with the appropriate screws and washers. All that's left is to reassemble the phone by working your way back through the steps we just covered. Start with the vibration motor, then the speaker assembly, the motherboard, the rear camera, the motherboard shields, battery, and back cover. As you work through the process, be careful not to damage any of the small metal contacts on the cable connectors, speaker assembly, or the battery connector's pressure contact. As fixes go, this one isn't too tough, but it does take a lot of patience and attention to detail. Now, if you have questions about this fix or my cracking open videos, you can contact me through Twitter. And to see more teardown photos of the iPhone, iPad, or other gadgets, go to techrepublic.com/crackingopen. For CNET and Tech Republic, I'm Bill Detweiler.